Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity. We just want to invite you to come into the presence of this room, and we're going to start by chanting and singing beautiful words into this universe and into this room, and just let the world stay outside these doors, and we're just going to really honor our beautiful Mother Earth to start things off today.
Keepers of the Good morning, everyone. Is everyone happy to see the moisture returning? We needed some. That's good. But we've been very fortunate this year. Look at the weather we've had in Boulder. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. That's because, we're doing the right thing in Boulder. Which is what? No. Is there anybody here from another Unity? Is there anybody here for the first time? Hold your hand up high. We have a gift for you. Okay, yeah. Hold your hands up high. The ushers have to see your hand. It's actually a bag of marijuana. You can smoke it after the service. Okay. All right, well, it's great to have you here. You're going to love today's talk because it's all about reality and who we really are. And Syntysche does that better than anybody else because she lives it. Her life is really just a beautiful expression of what we in Unity honor as the truth. Do the best you can, wherever you are. Learn to live and let live.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Boulder, those of you who are here joining us live in person and those of us watching at home on live stream. We're happy to have all of you here in whichever capacity you choose to join us. My name is Mike Shadle. I'm the administrator here at Unity of Boulder. If you ever have any questions, comments, or concerns, my office is right in there in the bookstore. Please come in and say hi anytime. I've got a few quick announcements here to get things started to let you know what's coming up here at Unity of Boulder. Tonight, we have our annual Samhain celebration, which is led by Norma, and that's at 7 p.m. If you're looking at it, it's the thing up there that looks like it says Samhain, kind of right in the middle, but it's called Samhain. It's a Gaelic ritual that literally means end of summer, but it's also our celebration of the time of year when the veil between this world and the next one is at its thinnest. So this is a great time to try and connect with friends, family members, loved ones that have passed. And that'll be right here in Fellowship Hall tonight at 7 p.m. You don't have to sign up for it, just come on in. Tomorrow night, we are starting a year-long A Course in Miracles group. It starts at 6. It's 6 tomorrow night and goes till 7:30, and that is going to take place on Mondays for an entire year. You do need to sign up for it, and we'd really like it if you pre-registered either today or tomorrow during the day. You can still sign up if you just show up tomorrow night, but after the second class, we will not be signing anyone else up for it. And this class isn't just for first-timers. It's for people who have taken the course 1, 3, 7 times. We have someone who signed up the other day who this will be their 8th time taking it. So everyone's welcome to come check that out and sign up for it. And for those of you who missed our amazingly attended children's Halloween party last week, our high school age students built a wonderful haunted house, and we wanted to leave it up, so if anyone would like to go down and go through the haunted house that the WOW you built following this service, they're all down there and ready to go with it. If you have any kids, just let the person at the door know if your kids get scared easy, because it is a little spooky. So Andy, what you got for us this week?
This is your weekly commercial for the youth programs. The Halloween party was incredible last week, just to see all those tiny little kids. And earlier in the day, we didn't really have a lot of Uniteens, so I worked with the younger kids, helped Michelle out, and I will tell you, it is exhausting. I'd much rather work with teens, but I'll tell you why it's so important. You talk to little kids about God, and they get a good concept, different from what they get in schools, different from what they get on TV. No, God bless our troops so they can go out and kill more people. But they really start to get the start of what we teach here in Unity. So this is your commercial. Just go out and let everybody know, especially all of you who are listening online. Come out, help us build the community, help us build the youth programs. They're wonderful, and we're very, very grateful that Unity supports our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. And finally, Tuesday, November 9th, we're going to have a concert over in Fellowship Hall by Alethea Rising. For those of you who don't know, Dinah, would you come on out? This is a duo. The one half of the duo right here is our good friend Dinah, who many of you have recognized from being on our stage and a soloist for countless years. That concert, like I said, is November 9th. It's from 7:30 to 9. We're selling tickets. They're $12. You can get them in the bookstore, online. You're singing with Sierra. So, all right.
I guess my mic's, there we go.
Yeah.
If you've seen us in church, we do about 50% a cappella music and about 50% acoustic music. And it's always uplifting and consciousness raising. So I hope you come out and join us.
All right, excellent. Wait, you may as well just stay out here. Because my final announcement is that today our special musician is usually our bassist, Joel Plimmer. He's going to come over here to the keys. He's going to play an original song for us with the assistance of Dinah. Joel here, he's had numerous placements in movies, TV shows, and online media. He's written songs with the legendary Paul Williams and John Anderson from Yes, and has written songs for many artists, including Tim Weisberg. Included in his producing credits, Joel mixed and mastered Elton John's voice and piano for the exclusive Red Piano series for Yamaha pianos, which were a part of Elton John's Red Piano show at Caesar's Palace. He's toured nationally as a keyboardist with Tim Weisberg and Dan Fogelberg, and thereafter continued touring with Tim for many years. As a longtime Yamaha piano artist, Joel composes, arranges, and produces content exclusively from Yamaha from the comfort of his basement in his sweet studio at home. Take it away, Joel.
Mike. So for the past few years, I've been writing a lot for females for some reason, and so this is one I wrote called One by One, and Dinah's going to be singing it.
I was lying face down in the middle of the pouring rain. I needed something I couldn't give. Writing notes in bottles, trying to get rescued from the pain. Trying to save my sinking ship. Then one by one, you cracked them open, you read each line, how my life was broken. Looking in the mirror, trying to make things right, just searching for an answer of how to get through the night. Then one by one, you start the healing. Those dark clouds can't drain away this feeling when you bring them to the sun. One by one. Now the seas are calmer, I guess the storm has passed. You changed my course so I could see. You're the wind in my sail, the strength that holds my mast. You're the light inside of me. Now one by one, like Zuzu's petals, my life came back on so many levels. You're filling up my pockets with happy memories that I had once forgotten. Yeah, they've been waiting for me. Then one by one, all of those voices that once told me how my life was pointless, they said, take that thought and turn it around. Take your life and make it count. Give your faith, give your heart, he'll give to you another another life, another place to start. Then one by one, people will see it. They'll see your life in me. I live it. Then to you they'll come. One by one, you're brighter than the sun. Yeah, to you they'll come. One by one.
Here, can I give you this? Thank you, Dinah and Joel Plimmer and the whole band. Wow, they really moved us into a beautiful place to start this service today. Welcome, everyone. Nice to see you here. So today is the third talk of a 4-talk series that I'm doing on the law of attraction. And the first talk was titled, "This is the Sign You Have Been Looking For." And the second one was How to Attract Miracles. And this week is the secrets to raising your vibration. So in this talk series, I have been covering all of the ways that we can get ourselves in alignment into an energy that is conducive for drawing towards us that which we want instead of what we don't want. Last week we covered that our expectations are a big part of what we draw towards ourselves. So we may say we want something to change in our life, and we may call it into the universe, but if we don't feel that we expect it, or we don't live expecting it, then it just falls on the deaf ears of the spiritual universe, right? So the first week I had given the intention for those of you that had, something that you wanted to overcome, to write me an email and share what happened for you when you made an intention for yourself. So I finally have an email this week. I have a couple, but I'm going to share this one. And I'm not going to share her name. Syntysche, my meditation and prayer intention for this week has been to let go of the shame and anger I have felt from losing my job in December of 2019. I have sat with those feelings several times this week, letting myself feel them, then asked to hand them over to God. One night earlier this week, I had a dream where my boss told me I could come back to work if I had a specific area of interest or something I wanted to do there. In my dream, I was very excited to be asked back, but then realized there's nothing there that I'm interested in anymore. As a result, I thanked him for the offer, but declined. I realized that while so much of my identity has been surrounding my job, I don't need to be attached to it anymore. My anchor is in the now and my spiritual practice, and I finally feel free and ready to be back away from the business world, which I lived in for so long. Thank you. That's a really good example of the universe, her feeling the feelings of the loss of that job, and then deciding to give it to God, and then getting this profound dream that showed her that she was complete with that cycle of her life, identifying with the job as self, right? And last week, I talked about how are we to know that Jesus didn't have moments in his upbringing or in his unfoldment where he got nervous. Am I really going to be able to heal this blind person? Or am I going to be able to feed thousands of people from just a few things of fish and a few things of bread? But when we really look back on the way that Jesus was raised, we learn why he had such a faith that something greater than him could produce miracles in action. And it's because he was an Essene. The Essenes considered themselves to be a separate people, not because of external signs like skin color, hair color, etc., but because of the illumination of their inner life and their knowledge of the hidden mysteries of nature, unknown to other men or people. They considered themselves to be also a group of people at the center of all people, because everyone could become part of it. As soon as they had successfully passed the selective tests, like meditation, affirmations. They'd grown their intuition. They had grown their psychic abilities. They could now remote view situations that were far from them. They were ready. They were thought, and rightly so, that they were the heirs of God's sons and daughters of old, the heirs to their great ancient civilization. They possessed their advanced knowledge and worked assiduously in secret for the triumph of the light over the darkness of the human mind. And so here we sit, and we are Unity students, and very much what the Essenes studied in their childhood so that they were ready to go out and show others what was in them, what the capacity was, that we can actually heal not only ourselves, but others. We can actually think of something in our mind's eye, and if we believe it and we actually expect that we're worthy of it, we can attract it, and we can bring change to any area of our life where we feel blocked. We can visualize something differently, and our body actually believes that visualization just as much as if it were fact for the body. So if we're dealing with an illness, we can actually see the result of its healing. And we can bring that about into unfoldment, into our experience. And who's not to say that that's not miracle working? But so many people have met people that have died, have lived from a stage 4, whatever, of some disease because they changed their mind. They got themselves focused on the power that lives within them. This Christ consciousness, this power to overcome the obstacles of life. And obstacles are part of it. But today's talk is about how do we align ourselves with the inner vibration that moves ahead of us. When we walk into a room, vibrationally, it speaks for us before we talk. So what is the vibration that we're holding in our being, or the frequency within our being, that is from high levels of consciousness that meets everyone, everything, every situation with an absolute knowing that all is right in this universe. And so therefore we create a life that is right in our personal universe and others. You see, while we are individuals, we are also part of a collective. We each have special gifts to contribute to the world. And when we do so from a place of love, there is harmony. Cells and different systems within our body work together for optimal well-being. Just like a vehicle containing a variety of mechanisms that function with each other for the vehicle to perform at optimum levels, if any of these components are lacking in some way, the entire system that they are a part of is impacted. The same applies to the collective consciousness. I'm going to be quoting a book that's called Your Psychic Soul by Judith Pennington, and it's penned around the Edgar Cayce work. The energy we emit either works to increase or decrease the well-being of all. The choice is ours. The energy we emit either works to increase or decrease the well-being of all. The choice is ours. At times, it may be challenging to see the world through this lens. Each of us is part of something much larger than ourselves, and our words, our thoughts, and our actions help to co-create the state of the world around us. So let's just take a look at the world around us, either in the nucleus of your life, Monday through Sunday, as far as your work, your relationships, your children, your animals. You fill in those blanks. What is that world looking like right now? Right? Because we co-create in this world. And where is there a piece that's lacking, that you're energetically feeling blocked or stagnant or not feeling like there's something forward moving in it? Because that's where you have to focus on, where is your energy in that situation? What are you bringing to that situation? Are you sitting in the pain body, worrying and fretting about the outcome or how you're going to fix this or how you're going to overcome it? Or are you seeking for the vibration that meets that situation to change it? Because that's the Christ consciousness moving through us. When we're looking through the limitation of body, human body, versus the spiritual being, then we are limited. It is hard to overcome the difficult stuff. But when we get into that higher consciousness, this ethereal being that we are is given wisdom, as this letter that I got. She got it in a dream that the universe was saying, you're fretting about something that's over. And now you realize that is something you don't want in your life anymore. But so many of us will sit in disappointment of something that happened before. And we're still looking back that we think that that's what brings our happiness. And yet, it just took that dream for the universe to show us that's a complete section of your life. Now get excited about this next expanded version of who you've become from this obstacle. So this vibrational energy is not new information, but it is knowledge that we are always relearning. This has always been a part of us. It is built into our fiber. We are now facing a critical time and are being reawakened to the wisdom that everything is connected. What affects one part affects them all. One of the concepts and ideas that is contained within the Edgar Cayce readings is that every moment of our lives, we are in a process of co-creating the images and patterns that help us shape and energize our future. I'm going to read that again. This is very important. Every moment of our lives, we are in a process of co-creating the images and patterns that help to shape and energize our future. So we are in the process of that. So if we're ready for something to change and we want to be forward moving into that which we want to see in our mind's eye, we want to say and speak and think towards making what that furtherment is, but then energetically we have to become that. We walk out the door as if it's already happened, and it will. You have to stop the affirmations that you've tried everything and there's nothing else to do. There's always something else to do, and the doing is a vibrational thing. It's not always an action. The action is staying in positivity, in higher consciousness, and not allowing yourself to speak to the ills that got you here, but only speaking to the power that lives within you. And that is hard. It is really hard. And I was tested with that this week. And I lost about 24 hours over a situation that happened in my life that brought me to lower nature because it was a conversation that was very aggressive, and the little girl in me wanted to get validation from someone outside of me. And it took me a while, lots of meditation, lots of visualizing, to get back to the higher consciousness, to remember, oh, that's right. I'm a really beautiful person, and I'm a child of God. And so this is somebody else's thing, and they need to heal that. This is not about me. And bless them. Bless them. And the more we work in our meditation to stay in that higher consciousness, the less we'll fall. And before I would have fallen for a lot longer, but I've been extremely working with this higher consciousness work for the last 2 months, where I have exercises I do all day when I feel the frequency start to get into panic and anxiety. That sign that you're in panic and anxiety means you've moved out of the higher consciousness. So I remember the first time I learned about my lower consciousness and why I didn't want to live there. And I was around 17 or 18 years old. And our family had just had a 2-week trip down in the Havasu Falls at the bottom of the Grand Canyon, living out of our backpacks and all of it, and we bring like freeze-dried foods, and it's just, it's not like a bougie trip, okay? It's roughing it beyond belief. And my parents only would go when it was like August 10th, like when it was the hottest you could possibly be down in the Grand Canyon. I swear, I think they just were testing to see what will be the thing that's the threshold for each child. And for me, heat is a threshold. I still have to work with when I get really, really hot. It's difficult. So it's the last day, and it's time to hike out. And we've finally eaten through most of our stuff, but our backpacks are still heavy because of all the gear that we had to bring down. And I'm in a really bad mood. I really want some Pizza Hut. I want like soda. I mean, not that I ever ate that stuff, but like after you've like been kind of like on a fast like that for 2 weeks, you want the junkiest food that ever existed. So I'm like in that place, and I'm thinking, gosh, we have 7 more hours of hiking out of this thing, and I'm complaining, and I'm annoyed, and I'm just bringing the whole family down, and nobody's responding to me. And I'm in my ego. I'm in the worst of the worst. And some of you guys have heard this story before. And all of a sudden, a crashing sound starts happening in the canyon. It sounds like the canyon's literally imploding on itself, and we're sure to be toast. I mean, whatever's coming we can't see because it's black outside. We have little flashlights. We can't see what this pounding sound is. And the next thing you know, we're seeing fire spurts coming down the canyon right at us. And at this particular point, at some points you're just hiking the entire bottom of the canyon. But at the other points, you actually have to be on these thin, like red rock paths to get through areas where water comes down in flash floods and things. We're on one of those paths when it happens. And just before we can see what it is, it's a horse that's completely gone absolutely crazy. And its saddle is completely loose, and it's just smashing all around it. And we're on a spot that's like 5 feet wide, and our whole family's in a line with all of our backpacks, and all of us just jumped enough up onto this wall for this thing to just skim all of us. And it was a miracle that none of us were killed, let alone survived it. But then when it's over, my dad's like, "Do you see what your consciousness does?" And I've never forgotten it, right? Dad, can you get me a cup of water? For some reason, I drank something. And my brother Dell here, is that a true story? 100% true story. So let's just say I was quiet for the rest of the trip. But I always knew I had a powerful energy because I was the type of person that could yell at a TV that was annoying me and it would go out. I was shown that I carried this very strong energy. And so while that was a really negative thing at that time, I then started to discover what I could do with that energy. How do you move that energy into something powerful and wonderful in this world? And obviously I didn't get it overnight, and it was years and years of trials and tribulations. But Edgar Casey says, if our words and actions are not coherent with our heart, it creates a different energy than when these two components are in unison. In the sound healing community, we like to say that your energy, thank you. We like to say that your energy speaks before you say a word. We like to say that your energy speaks before you say a word. And I knew better than to behave that way at 18, but I was finding myself. I was in a phase of finding myself. You see, we are all vibratory beings. Have you ever met someone and you were instantly drawn to them, or perhaps felt very uneasy around them? Maybe there's a person in your life that when you talk to them, you feel incredibly energized. Or there's someone who completely drains you. This is energy. And as we move through life, we may experience shifts in energy and periods of higher or lower levels of vibration. And yet, it doesn't have to be peaks and valleys. When we meditate every day, and we align ourselves and really surround ourselves with only our energy, making sure we don't bring other people's energies into our own expansive experience, that your powerful energy is what you are honing, not only to protect you from the energies of the world, but also to make you an absolute co-creator with what needs to happen in your personal life so that it has a ripple effect to bless others in your process. Because, as Albert Einstein says, everything in life is vibration. Everything in life is vibration. So, as contributors to our story and that of the world's, what story are we writing? Will it be a drama, an action-packed adventure, a horror story? I would like to choose a love story. in every aspect of my life. That's what I want. I want a love story with my friends. I want a love story with my husband. I want a love story with my calling in my work here. I want a love story with my family, right? I want a love story in all of it, not just in parts of it. So take to mind your life right now. What would you have to shift to create a love story in every aspect of your life right now? And sometimes that means we have to make hard decisions, because it might mean we have to change something that we're used to. We might not like it, but we're used to it. And because we have fear about change, we still put up with something that is actually taking this vibrational energy away from us, this powerful energy away. And it's lowering our frequency for all these other places that you do have a love story. That's why we have to get the whole nucleus of our life to be in unity. So, years later, like 13 years later, I'm thinking about the different times I've thought about vibration and how it's hurt me and how it's blessed me. I'm just using myself as an example because my kids are teenagers now, so I can't talk about them as much as I used to. So I lost my baby son, my newborn son, who lived hours in this world. And I was in a grief that any parent that's lost a child really could understand. I was just staring for days and days and days. And after about a week, after losing him, I was sitting at breakfast with my husband, and all of a sudden, the words that came out of my mouth while we were having breakfast, I said, I have to do something creative with this. I can't just sit here in this depth of grief. I will literally die in this place. I am a dancer. I'm a singer. I'm an actress. I have to move this through me. I am not a person that sits here and stagnates and just like sits in it and just loses everything that I have ever grasped onto. I believe in God, and I know something great will happen if I can just channel this energy and get this grief so it's not so heavy and so burdenful. And we left that breakfast, and I went my way, and he went his way. And I went to go do some shopping therapy at the Ross store. I made this big proclamation, and now I'm going to spend money I don't have. And I'm standing in line to check out at the Ross store. This is literally within a half an hour of me saying this. There's probably 25 people in line. I'm in the back of the line, and a woman that's at the counter who's checking out, she turns around and she's like, "You're a singer, aren't you?" And I'm like, "At Unity, you sing at Unity." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I sing at Unity." She goes, "Oh my God, I need to talk to you outside. I'll wait for you, I have to talk to you." And I'm like, "Oh no." I made this intention. And boy, is that universe, like, knowing I needed it, right? I made that intention, I have to do something. And the universe is like, "Okay, cool, I heard you." I go outside, and this lady's like, "I have auditioned over 100 people for my Mary Magdalene rock opera, and you're perfect. I need you to come and try out with the 2 other women that I put it together." So it's 3 women. So it's the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, or mind, idea, expression, which we've been talking about in this series. And I'm like, I can't do this. What am I thinking? I can't be a lead in a show. I've never even been a lead as an actress over my life, but this is singing and speaking. It was all singing. But something in me made me call my mom to tell her that I'd been invited to audition for this thing, because I knew she wouldn't let me off the hook. It was like I didn't want to call her, but if I didn't call her, I was going to ditch this meeting out in Gun Barrel to go sing for these ladies. She came to my site and she took me to that audition, and I sat with these women, and they're giving me each song to start singing through. And every song is about how she's learning to be the embodiment as the divine feminine to the contrast to the Christ nature. And I'm crying while I'm reading the words of these songs and how empowered and how beautiful they were. And I'm in this mystical state of God is real. Spirit is real. Source is real. All of this is real. And of course, before I left, they said, you've got it. The whole crew is meeting tomorrow for the first rehearsal. And I show up, and there's 30 people in this show. I didn't go to an audition. I wasn't planning on being this person. I'm not in the physical body I want to be in because I've just had a baby and I'm. But God put me there to be coached by these 3 women for 2 months to prepare being this divine, feminine woman. And there were some songs that were so impressive and so intense to my soul of where I was, and I couldn't get the notes out. I couldn't get it belting at that point. And they'd be like, Syntysche, you got this. Syntysche, you got this. This is in you. This is innately. You sing this song, sing it, chanting at me. And I'd cry and I'd break down, and they'd hold that space as I became the unfoldment of what I was here to do and be. As we have all been put here as the unfoldment to do and be. Look at how strong you are. Look at this power that lives within you. Let us help you get there. Let us guide you there. And that held my energy, and it was like a 4-month process to, by the end of that, I was pregnant with my next son, and he came out perfectly fine the next year. But all that, like, in between time, it was held with unconditional, powerful love. And I always say that experience changed my life forever. That's where the calling of my entire life came from. And it was just one intention. I have to move this difficult energy into something creative. What is that creative thing that lives within you that moves mountains? And I've said this before, even if you're not a dancer, you're a singer or ice skater or gymnast, you might be a runner. You might write code for computers and you get disappearing into this wonderful language that you love to do and you lose time. That's when you know you're in your creative source. It's when you lose yourself and lose your sense of time. There is no human being. There's just the isness and the essence of the soul that has had so many lifetimes. And you're tapped into that. And the more you're tapped into that, the more your life unfolds into the love story in every area that you desire it. It isn't what happens to us in life, but how we react to it that either increases or decreases its energetic power within us. It isn't what happens to us in life, but how we react to it that either increases or decreases its energetic power within us. I ate a little piece of candy before I came out here. It's like ruined my mouth. It's bizarre. I do not eat sugar, but it was one of those little Rolos, like with a little caramel in the middle. I won't do that again. Let's just put that. It was just there. It was in a little gold wrapping, and it was like on my secretary's desk, and I'm like, I need that. No, I did not need it. When we choose to let go of what we cannot control, we also release toxicity that may be attached to it. When we hold on to experiences that were hurtful to us, feelings of anger, fear, jealousy, and resentment can build up in the system, lowering our vibration. These emotions are poison to our being, hinder our spiritual growth and well-being, and often cause us to react in an unconscious state to situations. If someone treats you in a way that is unkind, it may have nothing to do with you. It is usually something that they are struggling with that is creating this behavior. Now, if you did something that lacked kindness first, then the reactions could very well be about you. Reacting to a lower vibratory state with that same energy only intensifies that energy. Not reacting is reacting. It is a choice to forego the engagement of a succumbing to a state of unconsciousness in that moment. We all know what that's like, right? When we have difficult people that we have to have hard conversations with. Or people that we absolutely love and you finally have a difficult conversation with them, which is my situation this week. Living in the higher consciousness means we have to understand that even when we are in higher consciousness, the world still operates in the lower nature in some people. That's not going to change. But the more you're living in higher consciousness, you're going to attract the people in your life that are in their higher consciousness. So you're surrounded and supported vibrationally in a powerful way for your personal healing, for that love to appear, for that career to appear, whatever it is that you want. But when you surround yourself that enjoy, around people that enjoy gossiping and talking about the hurts of other people's lives and get excited about the difficulty, so somehow it makes your life feel better because you're comparing and it's like, oh, this is fun. But then you leave the conversation and you feel dirty. That's lower nature. That's lower vibrational energy. And what you realize is the more that you live in this higher consciousness, you don't talk so much. You sing a lot more, though. You dance a lot more. And you have a lot more energy. When I started this higher consciousness work a few months ago, I was so close to an adrenal breakdown. I was taking naps every single day. I could not seem to get my energy back. And working with just focusing on my higher consciousness and making that my full-time job has blessed everyone. Not only myself, but my children's life, my husband's life, my parents' life. Because I'm endless with energy, because God can only do what we can let God do through us. And when we're living in an unbalanced way, Spirit can't move through us. But once Spirit moves through us, and that is our vital energy, it's endless what we can do. Once we can employ a calm state within and function from this space, some will be encouraged by your state, and it will inspire them to elevate their own vibration. It may also result in you becoming a target for those who are working from a lower vibrational state. Beings in this state often like to inflict their suffering on others. Remember that saying, misery loves company. Keep in mind, unpleasant behavior toward you may have nothing to do with you. So there are a variety of ways that one may consider raising or maintaining a healthy vibratory state. Being mindful, not to be confused with mindful, or mindful of words, thoughts, and actions. But being present with the words, the energetic words that you're putting out to the universe, the energetic thoughts that you're putting out to the universe, the energetic actions that you're putting out to the universe. What is that vibration from here? If they're coming from love, then you're blessing yourselves and you're blessing yourself and others. So again, Edgar Cayce said, if our words and actions are not coherent with our heart, it creates a different energy than when these two components are in unison. So that's meditating and connecting with the heart. Moving the intellectual into the heart. And this will be the honest, high vibration way of handling absolutely everything in life. So I'm going to take you into just a short meditation. And Josh, I'm just going to have you play what you played last week. I didn't get to meet with you before the service. So I gave a little visual for the back wall for this meditation just to help you get mindful for what higher consciousness, how you can use it in your meditation. If you can make it dark on the stage so you can really see it, would be great. I love this visual of the geometric shape being around you, as if it's this protective energy. So like you keep your energies within it. You ask for your highest frequency energy to live within your own aura. You call that in. That protects you from anybody else's energies, whether it's lower nature. It cannot come into that energy. If you're an empath, it cannot come into your energy where you're feeling their pains and sorrows and discords. You're bringing your energy into this geometric shape. And as you can see, there's chakras going up the front of the body. See all the colors of the chakras bright. And if you feel one that's not bright, start to visualize that one becoming brighter of the color that represents that particular chakra. So far in this series, we've covered how we get into higher vibration and put ourselves in alignment with the law of attraction. One of the most important ones is to put us in a state of higher consciousness is gratitude. It's the quickest way to amp up our vibration. So I'm going to let you sit and be grateful for everything that is wonderful, the love stories that you do already have in your lives. Now I want you to bring love. Love for all the wonderful things about you that you really do know are gracious and gorgeous and beautiful. And send love to yourself right now. All that you have become and all that you can become. Now let's bring that love for others. All the wonderful things that are in the others that do touch you in a high vibrational way that blesses your life. And now we need to bring into mind for us to stay in higher consciousness the feelings of forgiveness for ourselves. Forgiveness for ourselves for not always staying in alignment with our highest good. For maybe operating in a way that is from lower nature, but now you get it. Now you're ready to forgive yourself and move into that higher vibration, and you don't have to excuse what got you here. Just that you are a participant in the unfoldment of you being a walking, forgiving, loving, beautiful, spiritual being for yourself in this world. And now we have to take that same feeling of forgiveness for those who have trespassed against us. Recognizing that they're only doing what they know how to do. And that's not any of your business. The more you see them as the powerful beings that they can be, it may just catch on. And they may go in and grow into that expanded version you're seeing of them in your mind's eye. You see, your high vibrational energy is contagious. And it's powerful. And it truly can move mountains. Consider leaving this meditation in eating high vibrational foods. That doesn't include Wendy's or McDonald's. High vibrational foods are the foods that are the closest to their origin and how they were grown. Drink lots of water as you're moving into this higher consciousness. And reduce or eliminate alcohol or any kind of drugs that are not prescribed from your body. And when you see yourself slipping, thinking about negativity, find a positive thing to think about and stay there. And really take an inventory on the friends that surround your life. Are they of high vibration? Or are they keeping you small and working and operating from your lower nature, which is holding you in bondage from the unfoldment of your greatness for this incredible lifetime you've chosen to be here for? So we're going to come back into this room fully vitalized, filled with vigor, stoked to face life, and stay in our highest consciousness, our highest frequency. And we thank you, God. We thank you, God, for everything. We have no complaints whatsoever. Amen.
Don't clap. That horse still hasn't forgiven her. Well, freely we have received. And whether you know it or not, this service is what you brought here today. You came here today, and you are those that are capable of understanding the beautiful truths that were shared here today. So you should be applauded as well for living in that space of understanding. So thank you very much. And now, as we prepare to take this offering, I'd like to say to those of you that are watching on screen, you have all these opportunities this way to donate to Unity of Boulder, and we surely appreciate you doing so. It helps us to continue to share the truth that will help make us all free, including the entire human race. And those of you that are seated here, you may want to make a physical offering, a check, or a donation. We have the baskets that'll be passed around. We have dip jars for your credit card in the lobby if you want to help keep Unity going that way. So let's bring to mind that financial gift we'd like to make to Unity of Boulder, and let's bless it with this offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is. We have another opportunity to listen to Joel's going to share something directly with us.
Yeah, I really related to what Syntysche said about getting lost in something, because it happens to me all the time with music. But on the way here, I thought, I'm going to try to meditate. So I set my phone timer for 1 minute. This is really pathetic, by the way. And I set it for 1 minute, and 12 times in a row, I couldn't get through that minute without my mind wandering. So that's an admittance. I got to work on that. But the good news is that every day I work on music. It's what I do for a living, and I get lost in it. Like for 8 to 12 hours, my wife just tells me I come up looking super high, from it. So you got to take your meditations where you can get them. So this song's called Caterpillar. I wrote it a couple years ago, and It's about a reluctant caterpillar who's reluctant to transform, and I think the metaphor is pretty obvious. So I hope you get something out of it. Can I get a little bit more piano, Josh? Just a little bit. Caterpillar, tell me why you can crawl, but you can't fly away. What's in your way? Is something in the morning grass tempting you to let time pass away? Day after day, a simple life of brown and green, the only colors you've ever seen. You don't even know the sky's blue. You've never known the other half, but if you did, I bet you'd laugh for waiting all this time to break on through. Caterpillar, I can't see that you're waiting just like me to know which way to go. If you knew your destiny, would you stay there in that tree, waiting for a sign that it's all true? Or would you trust in miracles to realize your chemicals and live a life who's beautiful and new? Caterpillar, it's your call. You could stay or have it all begin. Up in the wind, that's where it all begins. Begins. Up in the wind. Thank you.
That was like a perfect song.
Yeah, perfect song. Well done. Amazing.
I mean, wow, Joel, it was
Amazing.
amazing. Thank you, Joel. It was so beautiful. Gosh.
Yeah.
So I really want to encourage you all to support our youth group today that have a haunted house for all you to become children in your beings again and have a fun little experience that's right at the bottom of the stairs right after this service. They're all down there. They worked so hard on this haunted house, and it's for you. So let's support them and have a bunch of people go through and it's not going to scare you to death, but you're going to have such a good time, and you're going to feel the little kidness. And they have, if you have little children, they can go, because they make it easier for the little kids, and then they make it scarier for older ones. So you can say you want a medium, a low, a high level. And so that's at the bottom of the stairs, right outside this lobby, right after the service. We also have fellowship out here, but if you would do the haunted house, we'll be in the fellowship after that.
Sounds good.
We have
to
a
me.
new Course in Miracles starting tomorrow night. If you'd like to do a year-long process that will transform your life in a way that you want to speak about the Course in Miracles, what do you think about the Course in Miracles?
Course in Miracles is the graduate course in spirituality. If you're going to take the Course in Miracles, it's probably a good idea not to try to be doing other spiritual books or classes. It's going to be very intense. It gives you a lesson to do every single day so that it helps you transform your awareness into that which is divine, beautiful, and brings forth experiences of joy and peace.
And you can register in the bookstore, and it's $25 for the registration and $10 per week. And we have prayer partners available to you. If you're facing a challenge, just stay seated in your seat, and prayer partner with their sashes on right here in the front will come and find you and take you to our beautiful meditation room or just pray with you in the sanctuary. All right, let's all rise.
Dinah has a concert coming up.
Yeah, Dinah has a concert on November 9th at 7:30, and you can get your tickets in the bookstore right now for that as well.
When is that taking place?
November 9th. It's a Tuesday night, and you can bring your own wine and food because we're going to have it in the fellowship hall so we can have fun and have a little party together.
You will be doing this concert with Alethea Rising.
Alethea Rising with Sierra.
You are going to be lifted by that concert.
All right, let's rise and close with the closing song.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I want to hear you sing it. I release and I let go. In the Spirit.
There we go. Let's have Boulder hear you.
And my heart. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle. No more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I'm free. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God.
And so it is. Have an incredible week.